Okay, Francisco, as you know, you have 15 minutes to present. After your presentation, you'll have a seat and the commission will ask you questions. You may start now.
Good afternoon, Commission. Thanks a lot for being here. So now I'm going to present the research study for the Seminario de Práctica Adult Education, which is about the perceptions and reactions of certain type of students when are taught in an L2 exclusive instruction. First, the research problem was identified at Universidad Santo Tomás in an intermediate 2 cross-curricular English as a foreign language classroom with 30 students that also belong to different programs in the university, for example, journalism, public relations, geology, accountancy, and science. Also, the problem that was identified was in a context where students were taught in a grammar translation method. Then, the research problem identified was intermediate level adult learners that are taught with L1 and L2 in an L2 classroom. Then, the bridging knowledge is to provide a basis for an adult's English as a foreign language curriculum, because we have seen that the Ministry of Education have different proposals or curriculums, but they are mainly for preschool, primary, and secondary education. So, the purpose of this study is to provide a guidance, a guidance for future generations of teachers on how to approach their students to English. That is to say, what is the amount of language they should use in the classroom. So, for example, to perform a class with 80% of English and 20% in Spanish. So in the case of Spanish, would be just to clarify doubts, for example, or to maintain discipline. Then, the research question and the general objective aim to evaluate the possible impact that this type of instruction, which is an L2 exclusive instruction, so the impact of this instruction on the Chilean learners' perceptions regarding certain oral tasks and their perceived instrumental values of the language. Then the specific objectives would be, specific objective 1, to describe these learners' reactions when they face this type of instruction, which is L2 exclusive. Then the second specific objective is to describe and assess these learners' perceptions regarding certain aspects of the language when they receive L2 exclusive instruction, and the other type of instruction that is L1 plus L2 instruction. Then the assumptions, the first assumption is that exposure to L2 exclusive instruction may be shocking for students. The second assumption is that students agree that this type of instruction would involve themselves in their own process of learning. That means that they will be conscious on how they are learning a language. Then, the main concepts used in this research were L2 exclusive instruction, which is basically a class performed only in English. Okay, so the questions from students and teacher and the answers and the explanations are in English. So the teacher asks the students to speak in English with no use of Spanish. So this concept was based on Berlin's direct method and Krashen input hypothesis that emphasized oral communication. Okay? Then another concept which was also important was the use of L1 in the L2 classroom. And according to Cook, L1 has different uses. So for example, to explain difficult vocabulary, or students can use L1 in order to help each other to understand L2. And also some students feel comfortable using L1 in the L2 classroom in order to comprehend the second language or the foreign language in our context. Then, well, a strategy that I used in this research was to expose students to oral activities. In this case, I used a role play, which according to Bungle and Asian, role plays provide significant experiences for students, because usually role plays involve students' interests. And in this case, the strategy was to make the students work with something related to their programs. So that was engaging for them. And the last main concept used was the instrumental values, okay, which according to Gardner and Lambert, as I did in Brown, there are different types of motivation for people to learn a language. And one of those is the instrumental values, that people understand and think that language is a tool for them to improve their professional careers, and also they can read foreign programs that come to our country in English, so they are able to understand them and contextualize them in our context. Then the paradigm in this research is interpretative, which according to Hernandez, Fernandez, and Baptista, its intention is to give a community meaning to a phenomenon. The approach is qualitative, which also according to Hernandez, and Baptista, its intention is to discover a reality. And in the case of this research, the intention is to describe and assess the perceptions and reactions of the students. So that is the reality that I want to discover. And the design is action research, which according to Seal, action research is a tool for teachers to provide an action that can improve the educational context. Then the procedure, also according to Seal, the procedure in an action research has different steps. The first one is to plan, to act, to observe, and to reflect. The scenario is oral activities in an L2 exclusive context at Universidad Santo Tomás. The subjects of study will be for specific objective 1, the whole class, and for specific objective 2, 9 participants that were selected voluntarily. They volunteered to participate in the data collection techniques that I'm going to explain right now. The first data collection technique was the lesson plan. That there were 2 lesson plans for 2 interventions, where the strategy of an oral activity was implemented. The second data collection technique was an observational chart that allowed me, the researcher, to take notes on the behavior of the students regarding this type of instruction. Also, in this data collection technique, I was aided by a collaborator who helped me to describe in a more objective way what was happening in the context. The information gathered in this technique was analyzed through categories. Then I applied a field journal, okay, who helped me to take notes on the context in order to generate the information with the observational chart. So here I took notes on the behavior, and here I could contextualize those behaviors. And also this information was analyzed through categories. Another data collection technique was a questionnaire with questions about different aspects of L2. These answers were analyzed according to the frequency of the common answers provided by the participants. This information was analyzed through categories and finally was interpreted. And the last data collection technique was a Likert scale that basically exposed students to two different scenarios, L2 exclusive instruction and L1 plus L2 instruction. And for those scenarios, they were exposed to same statements that they had to answer according to the different scenario. These statements had different answers with different numerical values that finally were added in order to understand and comprehend and also describe the attitudes of the participants according to each statement. Well, the consideration of trustworthiness. First, this information is representative for this group of students. Also, the information is objective because I was supported by a collaborator that helped me to have, as I already mentioned, more objective information. And it is also can be said that the information is valid because I used a variety of data collection materials in order to triangulate information. Then, the findings. Well, specific objective 1 was triangulating, I triangulate the observational chart and field journal information in order to identify the findings for specific objective 1. And these were the results. Two different types of students arose. So, for example, the first type of student was a few group of students that were willing to communicate. Their reactions were, for example, they were extroverted, they were empathetic, they helped their classmates, sometimes in English, sometimes in Spanish. And also this group of students was willing to take risks to produce language. The other group of students was the group of students who were shy, who demonstrate nervousness and also lack of confidence, and they show that they need L1 in order to feel comfortable in the L2 classroom. So, in order to have findings for specific objective 2, I triangulated the questionnaire and Likert scale, and the findings are the next. First, most of the students feel and think that English language and English class has an instrumental and also an integrative value. This integrative value wasn't expected to be analyzed in this research. I expected just to see that students recognize the instrumental value, but they are also conscious of an integrative value. Also, most of the students, let's say 50% of the participants and more, have a fear to be evaluated negative when producing language. And also they feel embarrassed because they feel that can be criticized by the teacher and the students who have a better level in English. Another finding is that most participants think that L1 is a resource that helps them to feel more relaxed in the L2 classroom. They see L1 as a means to understand L2. Another finding is that few participants, less than 50% of the participants, think that L2 means more understanding. And finally, past experiences were also a concept that came out from this analysis, and all the perceptions and reactions were shaped in past students' experiences. They were not shaped in that classroom, in that context, in the context where I carry out this research. Well, the conclusions. First, the assumptions of this research were not fulfilled. Okay, one of the assumptions was that this type of instruction may be shocking for students. However, it elicited positive and negative reactions, but they were not shocking for students. Also, the second assumption was that students would agree that this type of L2 exclusive instruction would lead them to be part of their own process of learning. And also that assumption was not fulfilled because the type of instruction do not reflect the students' knowledge. I mean, they can learn the same in an L2 exclusive instruction and an L1 plus L2 exclusive instruction. In both cases, they understand the same. And another conclusion is that oral activities and the type of instruction elicit mainly two types of student profiles. As I already mentioned, the ones that are willing to participate and the ones that are unwilling to participate. And also, these attitudes rely on past experiences. Then, most participants consider English as a tool. And finally, the percentage of L1 and L2 that should be used in the classroom depends on the teacher. Okay, according to the view of the teacher that the teacher has of the class. Well, the limitations. Well, the limitations were time constraints. Because of time, I had to change one of the data collection technique. First, I was supposed to do a focus group, but I had to change this focus group and turn this focus group into an online questionnaire in order for students to answer the questions at home. And also, because of this change, there was an objective that it was to gather a community meaning from the participants, but finally I had to do that community meaning according to the common answers of the students. Well, the contribution would be a guidance for future generations of teachers on how to approach their students to L2. And as I already mentioned, use certain percentage of English in the classroom and another percentage of Spanish, or maybe just English or both. The further research would be to provide a regulation on the amount of language used in the classroom, just as a guidance for future generations of teachers. Because the Ministry of Education proposes the communicative approach, and it says that teachers can be flexible at the time of apply or they perform their classes. However, it doesn't mention the amount of language the teachers should use in the classroom. And finally, the metacognitive analysis. In the research study, my strengths were that I rely on mnemotechnical resources in order to organize the information that I have in order for me to understand it. My weaknesses would be that I'm volatile and I start doing something, but at the same time I'm doing other things and I forget what I was doing, and sometimes I got lost. But as I already mentioned, I rely on technical resources in order to overcome this. And also I tend to be concrete, so I have this information and it's difficult for me to analyze it. And also my answers are concise. So a challenge for me is to find a way to improve myself in critical thinking and also conversation strategy so I can provide wider information in my answers. And metacognitive analysis in the internship, my strengths are that I always have a positive attitude with the students. I am also empathetic and I identify students' interests. You know, also in this context, to identify these students' interests was easy because we have the same age, okay, and we are also students. One weakness is that I'm anxious and I tend to speak fast and I don't realize that I'm doing it, that I am doing it. So one of the challenges is for me to find a way how to manage or self-regulate hurry. So here you can see the references.
Thank you, Francisco.